There's a lot of talk, and we had conversations about how just relationships are subjective, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of do what's best for your relationship at the end of the day. But what really, and you kind of speak from the women's side, the difference of leading and controlling, and when a woman can kind of start to see it like, oh, he may be leading me, or he's, controlling me, especially with the early dating phase, you know what I mean, and just starting to build, some of the stuff you might forget, or you might think, oh, it's cool and stuff like that. So what do you think? How can a woman spot the difference between leading and controlling early on?
I mean, I don't know if you can early on. Like, there's definitely a fine line in a gray area between being a leader and being controlling. But I think a leader explain if a leader makes a move, then they explain why they made that move.
Mm-hmm.
Versus controlling is just telling you to do something because I want you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm leading you, I'm like guiding you. Like you're doing it with me. We're doing things together. Controlling is more like I want you to do this or I don't want you to do that with
Mm-hmm.
no other explanation.
What's the problem with what's the problem with women and relationships, and why are women, let's say in our age group, the you know what I mean, the mid 20s, early 30s, why aren't relationships successful from a woman's standpoint?
In regards to leading and controlling?
Just overall in general, why aren't relationships successful with our age group?
That's a good question.
I know, that's why I asked you.
I think if we had the answers,
Don't worry, the women are watching.
People.
Don't worry.
Why don't relationships work out? I mean, I think there is not a high level of like understanding, especially like with our generation. Like it's kind of like how do I say this? Like just we say what we want and like that's the end of the story. Like for example, like our standards or like what we require from a man and things like that. Like we just say that we want this man who's this, that, and then that's it. And then if they never come along, then we're single forever. Versus like not necessarily settling, but like understanding that like we have to like have ourselves together too. So if you want a man with all this, like you have to like evaluate yourself and make sure that you are attracting that type of man.
Yeah.
And I don't think we do that very often.
Yeah. You think it's the lack of accountability?
Yeah, or maybe not necessarily accountability, just like the lack of self-evaluation and self-awareness. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't know themselves. Like,
and I think we get a lot of things from like social media and like what we see in the public, and it's like,
and also how we were raised too.
Yeah, true. So it's like we just want this type of man because Cardi B says it, or because Meg Thee Stallion says it, or because City Girls say it. Like it's like we don't really understand like the level of woman you have to be to attract the type of men that'll do X, Y, and Z, or that'll be X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And put yourself in a position to attract that person. Like if you're going out every weekend, you're probably not going to find a CEO. I'm just saying. Like you're not going to find a 6-figure man, 7-figure man going to the club every weekend.
Yeah. Not going to find him in Club Suede.
Not at all. Just not going to happen. I mean, might, but probably not.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You think certain women need to temper their expectations?
Temper?
Yeah.
Their expectations? Like, define, clarify.
Y'all got bullet points. Got to be 6 feet.
Because that when you say temper, you mean clarify, and then I'll comment.
6 feet, 6 figures, 26-inch rims, all that, 6-story house, all this. Meanwhile, she cashier at O'Reilly's.
Yeah. So that's self-awareness, right? Like if you're, no offense to anybody, but if you're working in the drive-thru at McDonald's, like. You may not attract a man with $1 million home and a Lamborghini and the CEO of something. Like, just statistically speaking, y'all might not run across each other. Mm-hmm. For one, I doubt he's coming to McDonald's. And for two, like, where are you going where he is?
The Lamborghini drivers just got offended. Like, yo, fam, I can't eat McDonald's. I can't eat a 20-piece?
But, I mean... That's obviously hypothetically, but like, still, you know what I mean? Like, you may not, y'all probably aren't going to cross paths.
Mm-hmm.
So not when you say temperate, it kind of sounds like lower, like that. I mean, you can always have your expectations. If those are your expectations, like that's what it is. But like understand that like you have to govern yourself accordingly. So if you're saying that I want this, then make sure that when he comes, you're ready.
Yeah.
Because if you want a 6-figure man and you making not, you know what I'm saying, like he's gonna be like, what? You know what I mean?